The aim of this experiment is to understand the process of seed germination and the conditions required for seeds to grow. The material required for performing this experiment is clear plastic cups or small containers, paper towels, water, some seeds, markers, and a notebook to maintain a record of the observations. We will set up the apparatus as shown here. We will take 4 containers and we can either fill in with soil or we can use paper towels and put the seeds on those paper towels. And then according to the given conditions, we will place them in the designated spots. For pot A, we will keep it in direct sunlight with no water. Pot B, we will keep in direct sunlight with excess water. Pot C has to be kept like the soil should be moist, but it should be kept in the dark. Whereas for pot D, it will have moist soil and we will also keep it in direct sunlight. So we will have 4 different situations here, and let us set up the apparatus as discussed here and see what results we get.
Let us now understand how to perform this experiment. I have taken 4 clear bowls which are made of glass, and I'm using cotton wool here. You can also use the paper towels instead. And I'm adding water to this bowl so that the cotton that I have placed, it becomes wet. It should just be wet enough. It shouldn't be like too much wet. It shouldn't be dripping. Just it should be enough so that the cotton absorbs the water. So I'm putting some water in each of these bowls. So you can just see the way I'm doing it here. So it just has to be moist. So the setup is now ready. I have already soaked some moong dal, whole moong dal. You can also take gram seeds instead. And now we'll place a few of these seeds in each of these 4 bowls. I am placing around 5 to 6 seeds in each bowl. Now, as you can see, I have labeled these bowls as bowl A, B, C and D. We will be placing these under different conditions to identify what are the actual conditions required for the germination of seeds. So for the first bowl, I'll not add any more water to this and I'll just keep this in direct sunlight for at least 1 or 2 days. For the second bowl, I'm adding a lot of water to this. You can see the seeds are almost soaked in water now. So after this, I'll be placing it in direct sunlight. For bowl number C, I'm going to place this in a dark location, just like the way it is. I'll not make any changes here, but I'll just place this in a dark location. Whereas for bowl number D, I'll be watering it regularly, just ensuring that the cotton wool is moist. In bowl A, I won't add any more water. So even if the cotton dries up, I'm not going to add moisture to this. And we'll come back with the results in 2 to 3 days. This is the result that we have obtained after 3 days. So pot number 1, which was placed in direct sunlight and without adding any more water to it, you can see that the cotton wool has almost dried up and the seeds haven't shown any sign of germination. So there's no germination that has happened in the seeds. So we can say that the seeds have not germinated. So the reason in this case was that there was not enough water that would allow the seeds to germinate. So water is an essential condition for germination. Setup number B, in which we had added excess of water. It was also placed in sunlight, but here also you can see the seeds haven't germinated. The reason is that because of excessive water, the air was not able to reach till the seeds and they were not able to germinate, showing that air is also an essential condition for germination to take place. In setup number C, which was placed in complete darkness but the cotton wool was kept moist, you can see that the seeds are showing germination. So the water was there, air was there, but light was not present here. This shows that sunlight is not a necessary condition required for germination to take place. And in setup number D, which was placed in direct sunlight and moisture was also provided, air was also there, you can see that germination is happening here also. So showing that air and water are the essential conditions for germination to take place, whereas sunlight may or may not be present.
Let us now fill in the observation table. We observe that in pot A, which was placed in direct sunlight and without water, sunlight was available, air was available, but water was not available. The observation that we made was that seed germination did not happen, and the possible reason here could be that seed germination did not happen in the absence of water. So water is a necessary condition for germination of seeds. If we look at pot B, sunlight was there and excess of water was there. Now, since the soil was waterlogged, the air was not available. So sunlight was there and water was there, but air was not there. And again, the seed germination did not happen. The possible reason here will be that seeds cannot germinate in the absence of air. So in the first case, water was missing. In the second case, air was missing. And both these factors are essential for germination of seeds. And because they were not present, the germination process could not happen. In pot number C, which was placed in complete dark and moist soil, air was present, sunlight was not present, water was present, but the observations say that the seeds were able to germinate, showing that sunlight is not a necessary condition for germination to take place. In pot number D, which was placed in direct sunlight and moist soil again, air was present, sunlight was present, and water was also present. So all the three conditions were perfectly present, and that is why seeds germinated very well in pot number D. So let us conclude our experiment. Seeds germinated the best in cups C and D, which shows that air and water both are very important for the germination of seeds. But light is not a necessity for the germination of seeds. Light may or may not be present. It actually does not affect the germination of seeds.